Thank you.
We're joined by Coach Mellon and Brooke Mullen. Brooke with a career high today. 27. There it is. So let's start with questions for Brooke. Actually, a statement for Coach first, and then we'll do questions for Brooke.
I'm truly excited about today's game for this team. I think a lot of things we've been working towards, especially since the beginning of the season, we saw happen a little bit. We kept our composure at times when it would have been very easy for us to, when they went on a little bit of run or they were a little physical at times. I thought we really kept our composure and executed on offense, and that to me is a big piece, a growing piece for us right now. So seeing that happen, and then you look at the stats again: 18 assists on 25 shots made. That's Drexel basketball, and I like seeing that on the paper because that's something we're going to have to continue doing. But and also just seeing Brooke do what she did today, just knowing that she was capable of doing it, but to see that really her step up. And it wasn't just the things she did on the offensive end. I think the defensive end, some of the big stops we had, and some of the things she was able to do on that end and just lead her team makes me really excited about what this team accomplished today as a group. So very excited for the win.
We'll do questions for Brooke first.
Did you kind of feel this kind of game coming? I mean, you've had a couple games leading up to this one, but, anything in there where the first shots went in and you just thought you were in rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, every game I just do whatever it takes for a win. So if that's scoring or getting stops on defense, I'm willing to do it and just step up for my team. So obviously it was flowing on offense, so I knew I was the one that's going to be taking the most shots. So just had to be confident in myself and my teammates to get the win.
Brooke, new team, new role, saw like an adjustment period for first few games, but you got 17 against St. Joe's and Lehigh, 27 today. Are you starting to feel more and more comfortable on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, definitely. Coach has been talking about staying composed on offense. Defense, we can be a little erratic and messing them up on their offense, but when it comes to our offensive side, I just have to stay composed and look at my options and not to speed myself up. And I think I've been doing that as getting more comfortable as the games have been going.
Yeah, and you've played well defensively as well. The whole team has. I mean, you've only given up about 50 points per game, shut down a good offensive team. Talk about the defensive side and you fitting in with Drexel's scheme and Coach Mallon's scheme and playing with, this new group here at Drexel.
I love defense. I think it's a lot of fun to play. And then just coming over here, it's very similar. Just work hard on defense, and then we'll get whatever we get on offense. But if you get stops on defense, it's going to take you far. Thank you. Thanks. All right.
I'll start. Questions for Coach Mellon?
Coach, obviously Brooke put up a ton of points in the first half. I guess first question is, how great was that to see what she was able to do? She was under control, knocking down threes, scoring inside. I mean, really, the last 3 out of the last 4 games, she's been really spectacular offensively.
I think that's really important for our team, just like in the direction we're going. I think it's something we see that she's capable of doing. And the only advice I've always given her is just take what they give you. And if she just executes what we're doing on offense within what we do, she's going to get some of the looks. And I was really happy today to see her really knock down some of those looks. She took a couple big shots for us too when we needed them. And that's something we're going to need in the future. And I think you're going to continue to see that with our team. I think we have multiple players that can do that at certain times. Last game, Chloe Hodges really stepped up into things. And what I like seeing is seeing our posts, the little high-low action with our post players, because that's something I don't think you've seen a lot probably with our team to start. But it's something we've been working on. So to see them actually work on it and execute it and stay calm and take advantage of those mismatches made me really happy for the group as a whole today.
Yeah, and speaking of the post players, Jasmine Valentine, career high 9 points for her, all in the second half. And they weren't just 9 points. There were about 3 clutch shots in a row when Buffalo was making their comeback, a couple of jumpers, the and one. I mean, we know what she can do defensively, but how big is that to give you that offensive spark in the post by Jasmine Valentine?
That's crucial for us right now. I think one of the things whenever you can get some scoring, especially from our posts, and that's something, we've noticed since day one, from our first game until now, something that we need to get better at and do a better job of taking advantage. We have 3, and we have mobile posts, and so there's always a mismatch, usually a guard on one of our posts. So if we can start just really identifying that, and that's really our next step is, we have a lot of fight this team, but we were saying connecting that with our strategy is like our biggest piece right now, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of that each game, and this was definitely on the game plan, so I'm actually excited for them that they could execute and see it pay off.
Grace O'Neal, starting to really look for her shot. This was only the second time she was in double figures. She had 12 opening night, 10 today. Also 7 rebounds and 7 assists. So really filling the stat sheet there. But offensively, she was looking to take her shot within the offense, knock down a big three, a couple of big shots. I mean, when she's looking for her shot, how much different and more dynamic does that make your offense?
It's a huge difference. I think her stat line, that's like Grace O'Neal to me. You talk about our point guards and being one of our leading rebounders every time on the floor, just goes to show how hard she works. So it's nice to see her take that on the offensive end and really see it pay off for her, because I think she's capable of doing that. We have been talking to her about looking for her shot more, and I think she definitely did look to do that today. And I think you saw the reward in it with her final stat line with getting 10 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds from your point guard. You got to be pretty excited as a coach to have that stat line.
And you get a couple of big non-conference wins. You get the road win at Marist, a good win today against Buffalo. Got a big test next Sunday against nationally ranked Florida State. You have a whole week to prepare. How do you get your team ready, bouncing off a good win here today against a national program like Florida State?
I think when you play this game, you want to compete. I think you want to compete against the best. I think that's definitely what we're going to have an opportunity to do on Sunday, and to compete against them on your home floor. You never know what's going to happen, but I do know one thing about this team. They're going to show up all week. They're going to prepare, and they're going to work really hard to do the best they can, and they're going to play as a team. So I think the result, playing a team that's in the top 20, I think that just gives you a challenge that's only going to prepare you more for conference. Just like today's game, I think prepared us. We see teams very similar to Buffalo in the way they play and style. I think this will be just another added piece of that for our prep for CAA this year.
Beyond that, you go down to that tournament action. Those are the 2 teams that were part of the mix here last year. Villanova.
Exactly. That's why we saw them. It's like, hey, you want us to come down? That worked out that way. But yeah, and then to follow that, we're going to be on the road for 2 really tough games. So I think it's going to show a little bit of what this team's made of and how we respond to those games and prepare.